Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sash, and yet thousands of miles away from me is
Rob Mendiola.
Hey, Rob.
What's up?
We're doing.
Where are you
we're
at,
doing
man?
this in.
Thousands of miles. Where are you at? Other side of the universe?
I'm in room 147. That's where I'm at.
That really helps, man. That narrows it down.
Yeah.
It may as well. It may well be the other side of the universe.
You
Room
go to every
147.
hotel and look at 147. Yeah, I always do like the downstairs room, but I am in right now. I am in Corvallis, Oregon.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's a long way from home.
That is a long way from home. And I had driven out. I'd been in East LA before, but I had never seen the Pacific, and I'd never been north of California. And I've conquered that now.
You covered it all now, right?
Yeah. Well, no, there's still. Yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to hit a couple states I haven't ever hit before on the way back home. So,
like what?
Which
ones?
I'm gonna roll through Idaho, Idaho, and Utah on the way back.
Wow, that's gonna be cool, man.
Yeah, there's a couple things to see that I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah,
I've got to stop and check on some things, periodically as I roll through, and if I have time, I always stop and see some sites.
Yeah, because imagine Utah's gonna have a lot of sites you could see.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious about Monument Valley.
Yeah.
If that's where like a lot of the old westerns, they have all the, that stuff. I would like to do that, but it all depends on what time that I roll through there. So if it's dark, it's not going to happen. But if it's light, I will diverge off course a little bit and go there. It's not very far off course, so that's not bad.
Cool.
But
what shows have you seen while you've been out there?
I saw a few different artists. I had I met a few new bands while I've been out here, and of course I saw our old friend Scotty Austin doing his. Doing the Live Life Laugh tour, which I love. Like I said, it's an old. If you see this coming to your town, it's like songwriters getting together from different bands, and they have some bands that played before them, but they get up there on their set, and this time it was Peter Dante from all the Adam Sandler movies, and you would think, well, and you just find out the guy's got a couple songs that really are really good, and he adds a lot to that show. He hosts them, but he does that, and then Scotty is there playing, and it's a different people each time, but it's been a lot of Peter and Scotty. But on this one, it's Aaron Nordstrom has joined them from Gemini Syndrome, and he is really talented, man. I had run across him years ago, but I really had never met him when I was with Drowning Pool somewhere, and ran into him, and a really, really, really nice guy. And it's a fantastic show. I really enjoyed it. And cool. I think one of the things I enjoyed the most about it, on being behind the scenes on that, is just sitting back and watching them interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
Either at meet and greets or after the show, depending on the venue. And one of them would always come up to me and say, "Hey, you want us to do this?" I'm like, "Man, no. Y'all go take care of them customers first.
Yeah,
go take care of the paying customers. That's what it's all about." And then I enjoy seeing that interaction.
Yeah,
it's much like I do or you do, anybody else does in their profession.
Yeah,
and it was good to see that. But I've enjoyed that. I got up. First, I started in I rolled through Texas. Now, the most I had driven in a day was this about matched it. The most before was Mall of America in Minneapolis and driving back to Humboldt, Texas in one stretch.
Wow.
And that was 10 or 11 a.m. I think it was 11 by the time I got out of my hotel on that Sunday morning, and drove home at 7 a.m. the next morning after picking up a friend's kid in Oklahoma, and getting back, I was back at 7 a.m. with the school buses taking off that Monday morning.
Wow.
But this was I did 1,150 miles. I rolled through Texas. I went through. I didn't go where or right off I-10. I forgot the name of the damn town. Kerrville. That got hit by the floods. Well, guess what? I went just north of there, and in towns there, and they were flooded because that's the the water goes downstream on these little rivers and stuff. And in fact, somebody brought it up yesterday when they were talking. Apparently, they're talking about doing this, which I had this idea rolling through. I said, why don't they have? Now, this doesn't happen. Like 1987 was the last bad one. Mm-hmm. I said, but it's going to happen whenever it's. I mean, it's just the storm got stuck there between two high pressure systems, and it just sat there and dumped. And I said, why don't they have some kind of a alarm system, like a tornado siren? Well, this would be a alarm system where they're signaling down to the next, town down the waterway that this is coming. And if you saw it, like West Texas or anywhere out west, basically, when you run over a lot of dry riverbeds, I forgot what they're called, flows or something like that. But sometimes they're rivers, and but there goes from no water or just a trickle of water to seriously very wide wall of water coming down. And
right.
And if those people had alarm systems that they could let the people know down that it's coming, if you live there, it's I thought the weathermen did a pretty good job. I heard people complaining. They're always going to, I grew up around hurricanes, but I thought they did a pretty good job of telling them that this is staying and sticking. But the warning system would help them get out a little bit more, ahead of time. Because once it was there, it was very fast. That water came in, and the town I went through, they was on 190 from Austin heading to meet up with I-10 down there, and the water level was had gone down already, but you can tell because of the little stream that goes there, and it's a little tiny one. I mean, it's maybe 10 foot apart where the stream is, but it's no, I'd say maybe 20 feet, maybe, but it's in a dip. And there's a park on one side, and then there's houses on the other side going up this little hill because it's hill country, Texas hill country. And the homes all had like rugs or carpet pulled out and stacked in front of the house, so you knew they had been hit. So I was like, God dang, man, it did it up here too. So if they had a system in place, that would be a very wise move.
I'm sure a lot of people are talking about some type of warning system now. I mean, I guess maybe it had been too long since something like that had occurred. So, even if they had a system, they might have not have taken it serious enough to like move to higher ground, because people always don't. Yeah. They never think it's going to happen like to that magnitude. So
no, and that's when it does out there. Yeah, it's not that often. When it does, it's catastrophic.
Right.
And because that's a lot of people that have passed away in a flood, man. That's a lot of people. I don't know what the final count was, but I remember at one time I heard it was 82 or 87.
One child that didn't need to die is too many, right? I mean, so
that's right. One is one too many. Yeah, and hopefully that it's sad that catastrophe creates these things, but that sometimes it does,
and that's why
just like pandemics and things.
And that's why I live where I live now.
Very much so. I've been through a flood before, and I guarantee you that I will never be around water. On a stream side. No,
yeah, I looked at a lot of properties and they were close to like creeks and streams, and I was like, no, that's eventually that will flood.
Yeah, that will happen.
No, I don't know if it's a 1,000-year water line. Like no, you can't go on that.
Yeah. No, we've had
Mother Nature.
We've
man.
been. Yeah, I know. Just in my time here in Texas, I've lived through multiple 100-year marks where like it erased one,
right?
Then it erased the other one.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
And look, if you ask me what's better, fire or flood, I'll tell you every time fire is better because it ends it all. A flood is like a wound that just never heals.
I know,
man.
right? You're right.
Yeah, because they fix things, but there's always some kind of little. Yeah, I don't care how much these restoration companies tell you.
Right.
There's always going to be something.
I agree. I'd rather have it burned down. To be honest,
it's better. I've had both.
Yeah.
And I'd go with the fire. Yeah. But and speaking of fires, but anyhow, I traveled on. I kept going out west. I made it all the way to Phoenix that first day. Which going west before I had made it to Lordsburg, New Mexico was the furthest I had driven out west in one day, and then this time I went all the way to Phoenix, to the north side and around Glendale, and was there, ran some stores, and ran to a show the next day. From there, went to in on 10 in California. Then went to Redlands, and there's a place in Redlands. Boy, I tell you what, the first time I had been to that area is around La Quinta. I had been there when they opened up the first Walmart Supercenter in California. I went back to that store and checked some other ones, but I was there and I stopped at this nice little area. It's in Redlands, California, and it's a place called J. Riley Distillery. And man, it is a beautiful venue, man. They have two different buildings. One building is where he has his pub, like his restaurant. He serves his liquors there, and they have food and all that kind of stuff. And then on the other side, he has his distillery, which he took us all right through, and it was wonderful to see that, man. It really was. But they in between, he has a giant fan, and it was already cool. I mean, like in La Quinta, man, it was 114 degrees. I've been there when it was 115, but it was 114. In Redlands, just right down the road, it's very close. No, it was nice. It was very comfortable. And then they had a fan in there, but they have screens on top. In between those two buildings, they have the venue, and it almost reminds me in a way of Rooftop in Houston before they put the roof on top of it.
Okay.
It's a setup very much like that. It's a long setup. It's a great music venue, man.
Yeah.
And did that, and then went up to San Francisco the next day, which was the first time I'd ever been to San Francisco. And you got all these thoughts, and then what is it going to be like? And I saw nothing but beauty in San Francisco. I rolled up. I went up 5. You're going up 5, and you pass just to the west of Bakersfield, and they have a lot of cattle. Like we pass cattle in. And I'm sure anybody can look this up and they'll see what I'm talking about. I'm sure a Google search will tell them. But we pass cattle in Texas, okay, no big deal all the time.
Yeah.
For some reason, the cattle that they have out there, man, I don't know what they're feeding them or what, but it is the stinkiest area. It's like going by a paper mill.
Wow.
That's how bad the smell is. It is atrocious. And
wow.
I asked Peter about that the next day. He goes, "Oh yeah, everybody knows about that out here." I was like, "Wow, I had no clue." But we got up and ended up in San Francisco and stayed at Hotel Casa, and it's right in I guess in the heart of San Francisco, and it's not too far off. It's right off the bay, and I mean But boy, I guess let me back that up a little bit. When I'm coming in on a Bay Bridge from Oakland to San Francisco, that's the bridge that, of course, in 1989, I believe, collapsed, and they rebuilt it and all that stuff. Beautiful bridge. And but as you're coming in, you're watching the fog roll in the late afternoon, but it's still afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this, man. Now in Louisiana, we had a lot of fog, but nothing like this. This was so crazy. And sure enough, we all got checked into the hotel, and I told a couple guys, I said, look, I'm here. I could just stay. I said, man, I want to go out, and I want to go to Pier 39, and that's where we ended up going. And I didn't go to a couple over, and they had seals, and I didn't get to see Alcatraz because the fog was in so much.
Too thick.
But Yeah, I think Peter and Aaron went out later that night and did it, but no, we just went to I think the Crab House and had a dinner, and it was really nice. It was beautiful. That city is beautiful, man. I had nothing but good things to say about that. There's so many things that I've seen in movies or views of that city before. This was yeah, look, there's that, there's this, so it
Yeah.
was really nice. And then I left there and went up the I crossed the Golden Gate Bridge for the first time, and it was foggy.
Wow.
The next morning,
That
yeah, it was
didn't
still.
freak you out a
It
little
was
bit?
no, it was clear, but it was foggy up top. Like when you got to the
Yeah.
top of the bridge, yeah, in the middle, it was foggy there. But I was like, wow, this is so weird,
Yeah.
so eerie. And the funny thing is, Aaron was rolling he was riding with me on this, and Peter was because Scotty and them normally would take them, but they had to stay somewhere else because of that trailer the night before. They couldn't stay like we could in downtown.
Oh
And
yeah.
they rode with me for about 40, 45 miles. And we're going over and Aaron's filming. I didn't realize he was filming. So, he's looking at the bridge, he's looking at the fog and all that. And I said, and all of a sudden I said, hey, so where do you jump? Where's the place where people jump here? Because I guess this is a good time to cut the video. Yeah, so yeah, no, I mean, so many people have jumped off that damn bridge, but no, we did that. We went up went up to California coast. I got to see the redwoods, man, which are humongous and
Yeah.
beautiful, man. And
I think I saw
the
like
same
just a little video of it. Did you take any
yeah,
photos or anything?
I got some, but I don't like what I got. But I
Okay.
got some. But it was not an area where I got sequoias, but I got sequoias in Oregon. I got some pictures of some sequoias in Oregon that I have too. But I did the Oregon coast, going up. And let me tell you, man, that has got to be one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Yeah,
that coast.
I agree. Yeah. Now I've never been there,
And
but
one
I've
thing-
seen a lot of photos from there.
Yeah, it was a lot better than I expected. And then again with the fog, it just rolls in there, man. But it's funny that coastline there in Northern California coast, they have the signs out ever so often, especially when the highway dips down. Like it's high up sometimes on the coast, sometimes it's slow down. And yeah, you see a tsunami area,
Yeah.
so it's a Cascadia quake ever goes off again, then that'll be the scenario there. But
Yeah.
just beautiful coast, man. I loved everything about that place, and I'll definitely come back. But got to go through a lot of chains, in grocery that I had never been in before, so that was nice. And
Yeah.
I went up to Washington. I went up to a nice southern part of just outside of Vancouver, Washington, right across the border. And I wanted to see. It's all timing. Like if I can get work I got to get done, then I can go and do this. Well, to go see Mount St. Helens, you can see the backside of it. I mean, the non-explosive side, but it blew out to the north.
Right.
So, to do that, I'd have to go around it. Now, I might do that in October, depending on what the conditions are on the roads. It should still be fine if I roll through here the time I think I'm going to. But I didn't have time to do it because it goes from like either being a 1 hour and something drive, but then you got to hike a ton, which in the altitude, I'm not sure that's great for me.
Yeah.
So I had tested that enough yet. We're going to do some serious hiking tomorrow on Saturday. But yeah, I did get some great video I really loved of Mount Hood. And, these are all volcanoes in the
Right.
Cascade Range.
Mm-hmm.
And like somebody who works in geology told me they're dormant. Yes. And I know they're sleeping. They're sleeping.
Sleeping
Not awake.
giants.
That's right. Yeah. But I want to go see St. Helens from the blowout side. That's the side I want to see. And the Johnson Observatory, I don't think it's going to be ready until 27. But there's other points, like that point that I found for that viewpoint I found for Mount Hood. It was about 36 miles away from Mount Hood, but for what I wanted, it was a great view of the mountain. It was perfect. And
yeah,
I
further
looked up
back,
some
it's
different
always better
sites.
anyway.
Yeah, it's like going to a Trans-Siberian Orchestra show. It's better to be back.
Right.
Every other concert you want to be close. This one, that's better to be back. But no, I did it. I found that viewpoint, and it was not out of my way, so it's efficient. All these things that you can do, while you're working, and things you can see time-wise. If it's efficient, if it's easily includable, I'll do. And I never spend, me, I never spend long at anywhere. So yeah, it's a pop in, a pop out. Even when I do presidential libraries, they're normally about 45 minutes, and I spent probably an hour and a half in two different ones. But I hadn't hit any on this trip, but I probably will next time I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I got the Great Hood, and tomorrow, I think, like I say, tomorrow we're going to be hiking around Silver Falls State Park in Oregon.
You got shoes for that, right?
I got my hiking shoes, man. I got them. Yeah. Well, one thing I did learn about hiking shoes, they're not comfortable to drive in distances.
No.
Yeah. I didn't know that until recently, until this trip.
You got to have driving shoes and you got to have hiking shoes.
There's a difference, man.
Yeah,
and,
big difference.
Yeah, just like the wildlife over here, let me tell you this story about Oregon, which, couldn't wait to get up here and said, man, let me tear into some of that salmon y'all got up here fresh. Get this, salmon, they have the crawfish farmers in Louisiana, they have a co-op, but they don't do this in Louisiana with the policy I'm getting ready to tell you. They have a deal here, which I've been told from a reputable source. They don't sell to the locals. They can make better money if they sell out of the market. Like we get at Costco, the steaks, and all that, the sockeye salmon, which is the one I prefer to get, and, but they don't sell to the locals, man. You can't just go in a restaurant and get the local. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. But you can go down to a boat, just like you can in Louisiana or down in Kemah in Texas. You can go down to where, at the harbor and buy it off there. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. Because I think that would be fantastic to come back with some salmon from here, But, yeah. And you want another quick fact about Oregon?
Let's do it. Lay it out.
Beautiful state. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Like I said, it's up there for me.
It's well documented. It's a beautiful state.
Yeah. Now, in fact, I was explaining to the lady of this, and I posted something on our Instagram page just a little while ago, where I got a cold plunge and it was fantastic. I loved it. It was a great setting. And my youngest had found that for me here. And then I said, I told her, I said, I have a new appreciation. I said, I living from afar and never been to Oregon, what I've saw here and there is, well, you got a lot of earthy beatnik people over here. Probably you've got a lot of cults and you got some serial killers. And she died laughing. She thought that was so funny. I said, you know what? But I totally changed my mind. This place is beautiful. I love it. The only thing bad about Oregon, and I'm not just talking about this little spot or that little spot like we might run into, or anywhere anywhere I traveled in the country. The one thing about Oregon is no cell service. None. I was getting messages. I'd get out of an area and I'd have 10, 12 calls on my phone, and God knows how many text messages. One time I had 40 text messages just pop up on my phone. Yeah, and I was starting to wonder, like, I'd get a message like, hope to God that this person's not send it to me now and not like hours ago and I'm missing this, But, I don't know why that is, but I said, wait a minute, don't you have all the geeky tech people up here? But
is it
no.
just a service provider, difference?
No, it's all service providers.
Wow.
Here, doesn't matter.
Wow.
I've got AT&T, and they're no different for everybody. So, well, I got a solution for that, didn't I?
I've only told you about it months ago.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to avoid not having to do it. Like, there's
Yeah.
only limited spots that I have to. But well, I did it. I went out and got the Starlink Roam / mobile thing. So
Yeah.
anywhere I go, I'll be able to have service.
Have you tried it yet or no?
No, I think I'm actually going to hook that up later on today and become a subscriber for $50 a month.
Yeah, I mean, you only use what you use, and you can always add more.
Yeah, I was looking at different options, and I ended up going with this one on there, different things, and excuse me, that's 50 gigabytes, and that should be more than enough.
Oh yeah,
because I use my cell service easily all the time, but
yeah,
Wi-Fi, but yeah, it's it would come into play at different locations, that's for sure, but especially out west.
Yeah,
lesson learned.
Right. It's good to be in contact with people when you need it.
Yeah, I mean, because so many things, like I said, I don't know, the personal stuff I don't mind, but I'm trying to track down for business, and I mean, need something done. Well,
that essentially that essentially kind of covers like if you had a satellite phone, it would kind of replace that. So essentially, you have a satellite phone now.
That's the deal. Yeah. So thank God for that. What's going on back home? We got rain every day?
No, I think it's been pretty dry and pretty humid and hot. Kind of cloudy some days here. But overall, it's been great.
Yeah, this is not the rainy season up here. Rainy season is later in the year. So, and so it's been easy over here, man. But anyhow, I'm ready to come home, man.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure it's tiring.
No, I mean, it's good that I had some days to rest, to be local. I didn't run out. Like the furthest I've run out and checked some markets like Salem, which is only about 50 minutes from here. Now, in Oregon, everything is close. Like everything in this town, in Corvallis, is like 2.1 miles to 1.4 miles.
Yeah.
But it takes you 12 to 15 minutes because you're taking curves and stop signs and the speed limit. Yeah. Other than that, it's fine and dandy.
Well, cool, man.
No.
Well, before you head back, make sure you do a check on your vehicle. Make sure everything's top notch.
Yeah. I have been doing that. I will check back in again. I think this is it. We'll do our next episode via across from each other.
Oh, okay. So you'll be back by what time? When are you going to come back?
I don't know. I'm leaving Sunday morning early. And if I can get a bunch of miles in that first day, I'm good.
Cool.
We'll see how that goes. Yeah. But anyhow, man, we want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and we'll be back. I promise.
Awesome.
Yep.
Have fun, man.
We are out of here. Take care.
Later.